Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out Star Wars Visions by Takashi Okazaki. The creator of the Ronin short from the first season of the Star Wars Visions series returns to the character and fleshes out their origins, or actually in this case the origin of the little droid companion he has. The issue, which is completely set on a bleak desert planet very reminiscent of Jakku more than Tatooine, finds the Ronin battling an old master who owns a little astromech droid. Through a series of flashbacks, we find that this droid was found by the old master in some rubble and repaired, becoming part of his little village in the shadow of a destroyed Star Destroyer and Corellian Corvette. The droid's presence softens the master up a little bit, and as the years go by, all his friends in the village die, leaving only him and his droid left. It's at this point that he begins to get visions of his droid friend traveling with a young Ronin and being happy. So when said Ronin arrives on the planet, the master knows his time has come and he'll die, and his friend will go off on many happy adventures with his new master. Takashi, who writes and draws the book, relies heavily on the visual side of the story, and boy does the book look great. While the characters have some really great design to them, and I like how he's incorporated classical Japanese influences like the samurai and ceremonial robes and big hats and everything like that. And of course, because Star Wars is so ingrained in Japanese culture, with the original Star Wars film being based around the Seven Samurai and the Hidden Fortress, one of Akira Kurosawa's biggest films and big influence on a lot of pop culture here in the West. So these two things go together so well, and Takashi blends them so well together. And while the characters all look great, I really liked all of the background stuff and all of the environments the characters inhabit, since they tell a really great story. Since we have ships littering the sand, dug deep into the sand, so they've been there for a while. Star Destroyers crashed into the ground. They've built like a little village in the shadow of this Corellian Corvette, and they're using little walkers to get around. It's just really cool little things like that that make the world feel a little bit more lived in and a little bit more detailed than what we usually get in these comics. Like the anime, the book is also in black and white, with the only colour being the red lightsabers the Ronin and the old masters use, as well as a few little lights here and there on the droids. And much like the anime, it's a brilliant visual choice for this type of story, since again it invokes that sort of old Akira Kurosawa, Hidden Fortress type movie. It's a black and white sort of old serial that you're reading about, and it just fits that Star Wars aesthetic really well. All of the alien designs and weapons and creatures really lend themselves to being seen in black and white, and I think they look really great in black and white here. Unfortunately, this just seems like another one-shot book from Takashi, and it's just like the last one we got with him. And it's a little frustrating, since I really want to explore this version of the Star Wars universe more, but with no set ongoing or, a mini-series, we really can't do that until another one of these issues comes out, which will probably happen if we get a season 3 of Visions. It just feels like Marvel and Lucasfilm are kind of leaving money on the table here by not letting writers into this world, and they very briefly toyed with the idea with the Ronin getting his own novel not written by Takashi, so they're open to the idea of going in this direction. I just don't know why they haven't gone full into it, since this world, just from what Takashi creates in this issue alone, not the other one or the actual manga and anime, it looks really cool. It's such a cool world that he's created, this new type of Star Wars world where it's long in the future, or maybe long in the past. Who knows where it takes place, and I want to explore more of that, and it's just really frustrating that we can't. With that said, Star Wars Visions continues to showcase how great writers and artists from across the world can envision the Star Wars universe, delivering a really slick action-packed story that tells so much with its art rather than its dialogue, building out a really interesting world that I hope we can explore in a little bit more detail away from the titular Ronin. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10.